Hello everyone. Today we discuss China Pakistan Economic Corridor, China's ambition and India's resistance to the project. CPEC is a massive bilateral project between China and Pakistan. It is a flagship project of the ambitious Belt and Road Initiative of China, which was unveiled in 2013. CPEC was launched on April 20, 2015 when Chinese President Xi Jinping and Pakistani Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif signed 51 agreements and memorandums of understanding, originally valued at 46 billion US dollars, further increased to 62 billion in 2017. The declared goal of CPEC is to transform Pakistan's economy by modernizing its infrastructure, including road, rail, and energy, and to connect the deep sea Gwadar port in Balochistan province to China's Kashgar in Xinjiang province and beyond by overland routes. This would reduce the time and cost of transporting goods and energy such as natural gas and crude oil to China, which is currently done circumventing through the Strait of Malacca in South China Sea with the additional risk of patrolling by US Navy. Rebuilding Pakistan's infrastructure through CPEC is compared to the Marshall Plan for the rebuilding of post-World War II Europe in its potential impact of the region. Let's see what are the Pakistan's interests in CPEC. Under the 1+4 cooperation framework of CPEC, 1 represents CPEC and 4 includes Gwadar port, energy, transport infrastructure and industrial cooperation. The Chinese investments are expected to boost Pakistan's $274 billion economy by over 15%. The large-scale energy production has been termed as the biggest breakthrough of the project. Energy projects such as Carrot hydropower plant and world's largest solar power plant in Pakistan's Punjab province are part of this initiative that can double Pakistan's energy capacity. As far as infrastructure development is concerned, with CPEC, Pakistan expects infrastructure enhancement, which includes construction of 2,000 km road and rail network worth $10.63 billion. The planned transportation networks include a 1100 km long motorway between Karachi and Lahore, complete reconstruction of the Karakoram highway from Hazan Abdal to Chinese border, Karachi-Peshawar main railway line upgradation, an extension of Pakistan's railway network to be connected to South Xinjiang Railway in Kashgar in China. Coming to the employment opportunities, Pakistani officials predict that CPEC will result in creation of 2.3 million jobs between 2015 and 2030 and add 2 to 2.5% points to the country's annual economic growth. CPEC provides Pakistan further with an opportunity to work closely with a more reliable friend China, independent of Western influence, especially US. Though US and India allege that the project is a debt trap for Pakistan, according to Pakistani officials, 20% of the project is debt-based and the remaining 80% is joint venture enterprises between Pakistan and China. 3.5% of Pakistan GDP per annum is lost due to poor transportation networks, which the CPEC aims to remedy, leading to added benefits to Pakistan growth statistics. Coming to China's interests and ambitions in the CPEC, the highlight is the Gwadar port. Gwadar port is the deepest seaport of the world, situated on the Arabian Sea at Gwadar in Balochistan province of Pakistan. It is under the administrative control of the Maritime Secretary of Pakistan and operational control of the China Overseas Port Holding Company. In 2015, it was announced that the city and the port would be developed under CPEC at the cost of $1.62 billion with the aim of linking northern Pakistan and western China to the Gwadar port. In late 2015, the port was officially leased to China for 43 years until 2059. Construction of the Gwadar Special Economic Zone began in June 2016, which is being built on 2,292 acres of land adjacent to the Gwadar port. The port became formally operational on 14 November 2016 and on 14 Jan 2020, Pakistan operationalized the port for Afghan transit trade. Gwadar port, located at the mouth of Gulf of Oman, is strategically significant for China since it provides China the shortest route to the oil-rich Middle East and Africa and most of the Western Hemisphere. Gwadar, once developed fully, will have the capacity to handle 19 million tons of crude oil per year, which will be sent to China after being refined at the port. At present, China transports 80% of its oil through the Strait of Malacca, which is a choke-off point between Malaysia and Indonesia, and runs the risk of patrolling by US Navy. Further, India too has strategic hold over the Malacca Strait, and in past India had threatened to block the strait when China was mulling to help Pakistan in 1971 war. Apart from these lucrative economic benefits, China has huge strategic and geopolitical advantages in the Indian Ocean, posing a threat to India by developing a military base at Gwadar. Moreover, there is often an overlooked version to China's ambition in CPEC. That is, CPEC is indispensable for the development of China's Xinjiang province, which is a part of China's Western Development Strategy. Xinjiang province borders 8 countries including Afghanistan, India, Mongolia, Pakistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan and Russia. This makes the province strategically critical for China. Further, Xinjiang is plagued by a secessionist movement of Muslim Uyghurs and growing terrorist activities attributed to Uyghur-founded Al-Qaeda-linked East Turkestan Islamic movement. This is where Pakistan and the CPEC come into picture. Pakistan is important for the success of the Western development strategy of China, largely due to its proximity to Xinjiang. Placed at the crossroads of the Silk Route and sandwiched between China and the West, Pakistan's cooperation is needed in stabilizing the situation in Xinjiang and the adjoining region. With cooperation from Pakistan's government, the Chinese government has hoped to suppress foreign support to the Uyghur population in Xinjiang for anti-Chinese activities. Further, considering Xinjiang's distance from the China's coastal cities, it seems prudent to offer the province benefits from economic linkages in Pakistan and speedy access to the Middle East and other regions. Pakistan has been working on fulfilling China's plan of developing and establishing a special economic zone in Kashgar and corridors in Xinjiang. The plans include the creation of manufacturing hubs, trade houses, and clearing houses. In short, any long-term delays in the realization of CPEC would not only affect Pakistan's economy as it is widely understood, but also the China's dreams of effectively addressing its Western development strategy by developing Xinjiang and the Silk Road project. Indeed, there is a lot at stake, especially in view of the growing violence and instability in some areas of Pakistan which are crucial for the success of CPEC. Now let's see why India opposes the China-Pakistan economic corridor. As we had already discussed, the project involves the reconstruction of the Karakoram highway, which connects Abbottabad in Punjab, Pakistan to Kashgar, Xinjiang region of China across the Karakoram ranges. The highway passes through the Gilgit-Baltistan region, which is a part of Union Territories of Jammu and Kashmir and presently in illegal occupation of Pakistan. The highway initially was constructed jointly by Pakistan and China, but its upgradation is being undertaken by a Chinese company called China Road and Bridge Corporation. The project also involves a proposal to develop the highway into an economic corridor referred to as Karakoram Corridor. Both the highway and the corridor serve political and strategic interests of China and Pakistan. India cannot afford to remain quiet to increase Chinese presence in the disputed Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir. India feels that in the guise of securing the CPEC, China will get a free corridor to move its armor, mechanized weapons and permanently position its troops close to the line of actual control. Further, India fears that China may establish a naval base at Gwadar port to ensure China's maritime authority in the Indian Ocean region. India considers Gwadar port as China's string of pearls basis that extends from its eastern coast to the Arabian Sea. The string of pearls is a geopolitical theory by Indian media on potential Chinese intentions in the Indian Ocean region to contain the lands and maritime footprints of India in the region. It refers to the network of Chinese military and commercial activities and relationships along its sea lines of communication, which extend from the Chinese mainland to Port Sudan in the Horn of Africa. As we can see in the picture, China is creating a ring around India which is named as the string of pearls. China has presence in the Kakpu port of Myanmar, giving it access to the Bay of Bengal with its commercial maritime facility, which can be used as a military facility at the time of conflict. China has reportedly military base at Coco Islands north of Andaman and Nicobar Islands too. China has developed the port of Chittagong in Bangladesh and has been pushing Bangladesh to allow establish a naval base there. China has also developed the port Hambantota in the southeastern side of Sri Lanka, and through its alleged debt trapping policy, it has taken the port on lease for 99 years since Sri Lanka could not pay off its debt to China. As far as Pakistan is concerned, it owes $6.7 billion in commercial loan to China, more than it owes to International Monetary Fund. The plight of Pakistan, if erupts similar to Sri Lanka, China may get control of the Gwadar port and set up a military base there, as rightly calculated by India, completing the last pearl in the string as theorized by the media. Further, Pentagon has also come up recently with a report that China may come up with a full-fledged naval base in Pakistan, which again speaks volumes about China's ambitions in Indian Ocean region to be satisfied through Gwadar port of CPEC. Further, if we talk about China's enmity against India, China has built the Zangmu Dam on Sangpo River in Tibet and reduced Brahmaputra's water flow into India. China has extended all-weather roads right up to the side of the LAC, built airstrips and significantly increased its military presence, especially after the Doklam standoff in 2017. There have been at least 6 instances of Chinese ingress in Ladakh recently, one at Chushul and Pangong each, 3 at Galwan Valley, one in Tebsang Plains, where China now occupies the strategic heights looking into DSDBO road. Under these circumstances, Government of India has called the CPEC project illegally done, passing through the parts of Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, which are under illegal occupation by Pakistan. Government of India is of the firm belief that connectivity initiatives must be done on the universally accepted international norms and must follow principles of openness and transparency. Financial responsibility must be pursued in a manner that respects sovereignty, equality and territorial integrity of other nations. As we know, CPEC is a part of the much larger Belt and Road Initiative of China. Similarly, BCIM, that is Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar project, was a 6th land corridor of Belt and Road Initiative. However, it was boycotted by India from the start and was finally dropped from the list of projects under the Belt and Road Initiative at the second Belt and Road Forum because of India's reluctance to join the initiative by China. However, China has reiterated that its alliance with Pakistan has stood the test of the changing international landscape and remained firm as a rock, as they celebrated the 69th anniversary of establishment of their diplomatic relations, and China has vowed for the continued high-quality CPEC development. To summarize, China has been strategically encircling India. Though the CPEC project has been troubled with delays and cost overruns and resistance from local ethnics, the fact is that when fully operational, it will give China a leased deep water port in Persian Gulf at its disposal to enhance its ambitious trade relations with Middle East through a shorter and unchallenged access than through the Strait of Malacca and South China Sea. But as alleged by India, it will not be only for trade but to set the stage for geopolitical assertion of China in the Indian Ocean region. Hence, in this context, experts say India's decision to drop the Belt and Road Initiative is strategically correct, India being not lured by Chinese largesse as many of its neighboring countries are. That's all for today. Thank you.